Hello BookTube, hello book friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel and another video. As you can probably tell, this is a book haul video, and it relates to one of my Christmas presents. I was given a book token for Christmas, so I didn't get many books for Christmas, but I did get one of these, which is free money in a bookshop, basically. And it has allowed me to buy some books, which I have duly done because this is also like having money burning a hole in your pocket when you're a book person. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you what I've bought. Some of the books that I've bought probably won't come as too much of a surprise because I've mentioned at least one of them, I think, on the channel before, possibly more. But let's get stuck in, shall we? So first up, this is the Noel Coward Diaries. It's a newer edition of his diaries with an introduction by Stephen Fry, edited by Sheridan Morley. And Noel Coward, as you probably know, kind of from the, I don't know, early 1900s up till, I'm not sure when he died, not that long ago, certainly in my lifetime anyway. A playwright. What's this sound about? Noel Coward was a renowned actor, dramatist, director, and a star. His incredible zest, versatility, and unrivaled wit are clear in these diaries, with a cast of characters ranging from the Beatles to the Queen, Churchill to Marilyn Monroe. Touching, funny, and clear, this is a superb insight into one of the greatest artists of all time. Now, I have quite a love for diaries generally, and I've got quite a few different volumes of different people's diaries. So I got this for that reason. I also got this because it covers a period of history that I'm very interested in, which is the Second World War, although it doesn't look like there's much of that period in here, but it ticks a number of boxes from my perspective. So yeah, Noel Coward Diaries, looking forward to getting stuck into that. And then a book that I ummed and ahed about buying. So basically, it was published this year, 2024, and I've ummed and ahed about buying it basically since I knew it was going to be a thing. And it's Carla's Choice by Nick Harkaway. Now, Nick Harkaway, if you don't know, is John le Carré's son, one of his sons. And it is a continuation of his dad's stories and characters, in particular George Smiley and Carla, who was his kind of Russian nemesis. And the reason I ummed and ahed about it was twofold. One, because it was somebody else picking up the mantle of an author that I really love, John le Carré. And would it be as good? And all of those things. And generally speaking, I don't read, the books written by other authors of other authors' characters. That's a very jumbled way of saying it. So, for example, there's a lot of Tom Clancy novels out there now that aren't written by Tom Clancy, and I love Tom Clancy novels, but I've read a few, very few, and only the kind of ones that were written when he was still alive, so they were kind of written with rather than written completely by somebody else. So the more recent ones I haven't read at all. And then kind of this the same feeling about this. Now, was it last year or the year before, there was Silverview, which was kind of his last novel. That was it was found in basically found in a drawer, more or less complete, and the family decided to publish it, and his Nick Harkaway took it on and kind of gave it the final kind of finishing touches, which he said at the time wasn't very much. And it was published, and it was it wasn't classic John le Carre, but it was a good John le Carre story. This is a completely new story just based on John le Carre's characters. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, so I can't tell you. But enough people who I rate and trust have said it is as good as a John le Carre written by John le Carre. So we shall see. And I think what I did as an author's note written by Nick Harkaway in the beginning. Let me just read the first kind of paragraph, because I think this kind of sums up perhaps how he felt about doing it as well. It's a very impressive menu, my father's first wife Anne once told a startled maitre d', but the question is, can you cook? We're about to find out. In some ways, I already know my family is happy with this book. If I'd written something that secured every accolade going and they hated it, that would be a very special kind of hell. So I think that kind of tells you that maybe it's going to be a good read. So we'll see. But yeah, a new John le Carre to read. One book that I know I've spoken about on the channel is Percival Everett's James, and I have been inspired to read this purely by BookTube. I think a number of people, Pat at Book Chat with Pat, Nick at Books Are Sick, and various other booktubers have mentioned this and rated it. It seems when I mentioned it in a video, it got some kind of mixed reviews, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. This is basically the story of Jim Hawkins, the escaped slave who rides down the Mississippi River with Huck Finn, so Mark Twain's Huck Finn. But this is written very much from Jim Hawkins's perspective and voice rather than Huck Finn's. So yeah, was up for a Booker, didn't win, but came, I think, a close second. So looking forward to reading this. And then a book recommended by booksellers, actually. I think I had heard of this book before, but hadn't had a chance to look into it much. And then I follow the Hazelmere Bookshop, which is not very far from me, on Instagram, and two of their members of staff put this book in their kind of top books of the year, and it's right up my street. It is Raising Hare. Just tilt that so you can see it. Raising Hare by Chloe Dalton, and it is a story of during one of the coronavirus lockdowns. Chloe, the author, found a hare leveret, so a baby hare, and kind of raised it as to adulthood, and this is that story. I've got a great love of natural history and natural history books, and this just appealed to me, and it appealed to me from the basis of the recommendations of a couple of booksellers that I've never met but watch on Instagram. So that's that. And then finally, a book that I didn't know was coming out until I saw an advert for it. But I'm really glad to have discovered it, and probably the one I will read next. And well, Gerald Durrell, Myself and Other Animals. Now, it's Gerald, it would be if he was still alive, Gerald Durrell's 100th birthday in 2025. So he was born in 1925. He died in 1995. So he's been, what's that, 30 years? So yeah, it's, not, no, 40 years? Oh, whatever. My maths is terrible. This is why I'm a biologist, not a mathematician. And Gerald Durrell is one of the reasons I'm a biologist. He was very much an inspiration to me through all of the books that he wrote on wildlife conservation, setting up his zoo on Jersey, and amongst other biologists who were kind of popular at the time. He was one who inspired me tremendously, and died before I ever got a chance to meet him. So I've kind of finished my biology degree in 1993, and obviously he died a couple of years later. So this is kind of a posthumous collection of some of the books, some of the stories that he was working on at the time he died, and various other things, unpublished works and so on. It's edited by his late wife, Lee Durrell, who is still alive. So I think, the fact that it's got that family connection means hopefully it's going to be enjoyable. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, and this probably, as I say, will be the first of this haul that I read over the sort of coming couple of weeks. So yeah, there you go. That's my book token haul, Christmas book token haul. If you have been, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.